Hey everybody, you know fossils, they give us a window into the distant past, but some discoveries have left scientists and the world truly astonished. From giant creatures we never knew existed to perfectly preserved moments frozen in time. Join me for today's video where count down 15 of the most shocking fossil discoveries. Number 15. The Titanoboa. In Colombia's Cerrejón coal mine, something ancient and massive lay hidden beneath the mudstone. This wasn't just a rare fossil or simply a relic of prehistoric life. It was a vertebra from the largest snake ever known. The Titanoboa, a prehistoric relative in the snake family, dominated the humid swamps of this land nearly 58 million years ago, and it was about to rewrite everything known about ancient tropical ecosystems. In 2004, a mine was stripped bare in search of coal, revealing layers of fossil-rich shale left behind. Among the bleached turtle shells, ancient crocodile ancestors, and lungfish twice the size of modern counterparts, paleontologists Jonathan Block and Carlos Jaramillo stumbled upon the bones of a creature neither had ever seen. A vertebrae so large it didn't belong to any living species of snake. Further digging unveiled nearly 100 vertebrae, enough to build an outline of the serpentine giant that was the Titanoboa. At an estimated length of 40 to 45 feet and weighing over a ton, Titanoboa dwarfed today's largest snakes, including the 30-foot-long reticulated python and green anaconda. Its thick, muscular girth could reach up to a man's waist, and its diet likely included anything it wanted, from hefty turtles to fearsome dinosaurs that lurked in the swamp. Yet unlike modern constrictors, Titanoboa was not strictly a land dweller. Its swampy home hinted at behaviors similar to those of today's anacondas, which thrive in water. For scientists, every vertebrae unearthed from Cerrejón was a revelation, and finding an attacked skull was almost too much to hope for. Snake skulls, built from delicate, separate bones, rarely survive intact. Yet there it was, embedded in the shale, a glimpse into the anatomical design that allowed Titanoboa to dominate its realm. Number 14. The Helicoprion. Helicoprion, a mysterious genus of extinct cartilaginous fish, swam in the ancient oceans roughly 290 million years ago. Resembling modern sharks in many ways, these creatures stand out for features that, unlike anything seen in other marine life, a tooth whorl. While its fossil records date back to the late Carboniferous period through early Permian, its jaws puzzled scientists for over a century. First discovered as fossilized remains in the Ural Mountains, the whorl's function, positioning, and evolution sparked significant debate. And thanks to recent technological advances, such as CT scanning, paleontologists now have a clearer understanding of this unique adaptation and its role in Helicoprion's survival. Fossils of this species have been uncovered around the world, from Idaho to China, offering glimpses into the characteristics that define this bizarre predator. Lacking traditional bones, its skeletons were primarily cartilage, which rarely fossilizes. As a result, most fossils consist of tooth whorls, which provide insight into the evolutionary development of it. Modern scans reveal that the spiral of the teeth acted as a self-sharpening mechanism, replacing worn teeth with new ones as they rotated into place. This arrangement allowed it to retain a continuous cutting edge ideal for slicing through prey. Discoveries of Helicoprion fossils have brought forth all sorts of shocking revelations. Fossils found in Idaho, Russia, China, and Japan have enriched our understanding of its distribution and its survival. One noteworthy discovery in Idaho, and displayed at the Idaho Museum of Natural History, remains one of the most complete Helicoprion specimens ever found. This specimen, uncovered during a road construction, emphasized that Helicoprion ranged far and wide in prehistoric oceans. Fossils from the early Triassic suggest that it survived the Permo-Triassic extinction event, adapting to significant environmental changes that decimated countless species. Number 13. European pandas. Imagine discovering that a close relative of the modern-day giant panda once roamed the forests of Europe. This surprising revelation came to light after researchers stumbled upon an overlooked fossil, revealing that Europe was once home to a unique species of panda. This fossil has unlocked intriguing insights about this ancient panda's life, its survival challenges, and the environmental shifts that ultimately led to its extinction. The discovery serves as a reminder of the diversity of life that once populated Europe, inviting questions about how these ancient relatives fit into the evolutionary story of today's giant panda. The story of the European panda began in the late 1970s, when two teeth, an upper canine and an upper molar, were discovered in northwestern Bulgaria. Originally found in coal deposits, these teeth were stained black, suggesting they came from a swampy, coal-rich environment. After the excavation, the fossils found their way to the Bulgarian National Museum of Natural History in Sofia, where they lay in storage for around 40 years. Recently, museum staff revisited these overlooked fossils, leading researchers to realize the teeth were not only from a panda species, but one unlike any previously discovered in Europe. Upon closer examination, the panda revealed itself to be a unique evolutionary chapter. Unlike earlier European panda species, whose fossils date back more than 10 million years and tend to be much smaller, this European panda was likely close in size to the modern giant panda. This resemblance implies that this one was one of the last known European pandas, dating to around 6 million years ago. Although not a direct ancestor of today's pandas, this species was still a close relative, belonging to the same bear lineage that makes the giant panda so distinctive. Number 12. The Fighting Mammoths. In 1962, two workmen laying an electric line on a ranch in Nebraska stumbled upon an enormous thigh bone, hinting at something far larger below. Over the next few days, a team led by young paleontology student Mike Voorhees carefully unearthed the remains, discovering not one, but two mammoths. Even more astounding, these giants had died mid-battle, their massive tusks locked together in a violent struggle. The mammoth remains were stored away in Nebraska's University Museum, largely unseen by the public, until recent preparations brought the world's only known mammoth deathmatch fossil to light. The two mammoths found in Nebraska were Columbian mammoths, a species even larger than the well-known woolly mammoth. Standing up to 13 feet tall and weighing between 8 to 10 tons, Columbian mammoths boasted tusks that could exceed 9 feet in length, capable of both defense and fierce offense. Columbian mammoths, unlike their woolly counterparts, occupied more temperate regions of North America, thriving on the lush, open landscapes and grazing on an impressive 700 pounds of vegetation daily. When the fossilized remains were fully uncovered, it was clear that these mammoths had perished in a locked death struggle, likely over a mate. Their tusks, twisted together, spoke to a brutal confrontation where neither competitor relented. Scientists surmise that, similar to modern elephants, male mammoths would periodically experience surges in testosterone, prompting fights over territory or females. This particular duel, however, ended fatally, with each mammoth unwilling or unable to release the other. Number 11. The Pangia lizards. In 1866, fossil hunters in southern Ireland's County Kilkenny unearthed a rare collection of fossils in a coal seam known as the Yarrow Assemblage. Within it lay the peculiar remains of a Keraterpiton, a small amphibian-like creature that lived around 300 million years ago. The fossils weren't just old, they were mangled, deformed, and mixed with crystal-like minerals as if the bones had been cooked. For years, researchers puzzled over this fossil collection's warped state and proposed that acidic soil or other local conditions might have dissolved and misshaped them. However, recent analysis has shed light on a far more dramatic story. As geologists delved deeper, they uncovered evidence that suggested these fossils were transformed by extreme conditions during one of Earth's most monumental events, the formation of the supercontinent Pangia. Pangia, the massive landmass that united all of Earth's continents, formed around 300 million years ago during the Carboniferous and early Permian periods. Earth's crust and upper mantle are divided into tectonic plates that are constantly shifting over time, drifting apart, colliding, and rearranging. As those plates move, they sometimes merge to create supercontinents like Pangia. These continental collisions don't just create the supercontinents, they also lead to violent geological upheavals, mountain ranges, volcanic activity. They all intensify, and superheated fluids surge through underground networks. The tectonic mayhem of Pangia's formation was extreme, generating heat and pressure that released superheated fluids. Now, these boiling fluids, rich in minerals, coursed through cracks in the rocks, altering anything in their path, including the buried bones of ancient creatures like Keraterpiton. In Ireland, as these subterranean fluids surged through the Yarrow Assemblage, they literally cooked the fossils, changing their original bone structure into a warped, crystal-laden form. These extreme forces didn't just alter landscapes, they permanently transformed the bones of these ancient creatures, preserving a twisted record of Earth's dynamic past. The fact that these fossils were so profoundly altered during one of the most intense periods of tectonic activity is a marvel, and it offers insights into the forces that formed Pangia. Number 10. The Leviathan turtle. In a groundbreaking discovery, paleontologists in Spain unearthed a newly identified species of gigantic marine turtle that stunned the scientific community with its size. Measuring approximately 12 feet long, this titan was more than double the length of today's largest sea turtles, and it's the largest turtle fossil ever discovered in Europe. This fossil, unearthed from the Cal Torrades site in northeastern Spain between 2016 and 2021, provides a fascinating glimpse into a time around 83 to 72 million years ago, when Europe's ancient oceans were teeming with such colossal creatures. This new species was a game-changer for more than its remarkable length. Its pelvis, the only complete part of its fossilized remains, reveals a unique anatomical feature, a mysterious protrusion unlike anything seen in earlier extinct or modern turtles. Researchers speculate this protrusion might have aided in respiration, hinting at a unique adaptation possibly linked to the deep ancient waters it once roamed. This anatomical peculiarity was so distinct that scientists classified it into its own genus, marking it as a unique evolutionary branch. Until this discovery, it was believed that the largest turtles evolved along a single lineage. This one, however, shows that Europe had its own line of giant sea turtles, separate from the well-known Archaeopteris of North America, which reached a record-breaking length of 15 feet. This raises tantalizing possibilities of other undiscovered ancient giant turtles, each with its own unique set of adaptations and evolutionary pathways. This one, with its massive size and distinct pelvic structure, also suggests that ancient sea turtles might have developed unique respiratory or locomotive adaptations to thrive in the vast Cretaceous oceans. Number 9. The fighting dinosaurs. In an awesome find, paleontologists in Mongolia's Dajochka Formation uncovered a fossil in 1971 that captured the climax of a violent prehistoric encounter between two dinosaurs, a Protoceratops and a Velociraptor, locked in deadly combat. Dating back around 80 million years to the late Cretaceous, the fossil remains uniquely preserved, displaying each dinosaur's fatal last moves with chilling clarity. The fossil, dubbed the fighting dinosaurs, offer a rare glimpse into real-life predatory behavior. The physical positioning of each dinosaur in the fossil reveals a clear sequence of the struggle. The Velociraptor lies on its back beneath the Protoceratops, its right hand trapped between the Protoceratops' jaws, while its left claws rake across the herbivore's skull. The Protoceratops, a small frilled herbivore, maintains a defensive posture, its powerful jaws biting down as its semi-erect stance indicates a sudden forceful clash. Early explanations suggest drowning, dune collapse, or a sandstorm as possible burial events that could have led to both dinosaurs being preserved in place. Mongolian paleontologist Rinchen Barsbold proposed in 1974 that both dinosaurs might have been swept into quicksand, immobilizing them mid-battle. The discovery of the fighting dinosaur fossil altered scientists' understanding of predatory behavior in non-avian theropods, adding weight to the theory that velociraptors actively hunted rather than solely scavenging. In 1998, paleontologist Kenneth Carpenter suggested that the velociraptor's wounds were consistent with a violent struggle. The fossil's preservation is remarkably intact too, implying that the sand covering may have both shielded dinosaurs from scavengers, although Barsbold reported later in 2016 that missing limb elements in the Protoceratops could indicate scavenger activity after the pair were buried. One of the fossil's most enduring mysteries is what it reveals about velociraptors hunting. Unwin and his team speculated that velociraptors may have hunted during sandstorms, capitalizing on the Protoceratops' vulnerability as it crouched to protect itself from swirling sand. This would indicate strategic behaviors in an understanding of environmental conditions, impressive traits that have reshaped modern interpretations of velociraptor intelligence. Number 8. The Moa Claw. The Moa Claw is a relic that looks as if it belonged to a creature straight out of mythology. It stunned archaeologists when they uncovered it nearly 3 decades ago in New Zealand. Deep within a cave system on Mount Owen, researchers stumbled upon a massive dinosaur-like claw still preserved with scales and flesh. In the dim light of the cave, it seemed as if the claw could have belonged to something recently deceased. Upon closer analysis, it was revealed to be a 3,300-year-old mummified claw from an upland moa, an extinct flightless bird native to New Zealand. The upland moa is one of 10 species of the moa family, which once roamed New Zealand's rugged landscape. Standing up to 4.2 feet tall, it was relatively small for a moa species, some of which reached heights of over 10 feet. Moa have been known to inhabit higher, cooler regions using their strong, clawed feet to traverse that tough alpine terrain. Now, these birds existed for millions of years, but rapid overhunting by humans led to their extinction. The discovery of the Moa Claw came nearly a century after the first Moa remains were found in 1839. The first recognized Moa bone, initially ridiculed as belonging to an unknown giant bird, was later attributed to this unusual species, confirming Sir Richard Owen's hypothesis. The dry, constant breeze within the cave likely desiccated the Moa's remains, preserving the claw almost perfectly. Such well-preserved remains have sparked conversations about reviving the species using modern genetic techniques. The discovery of these Moa bones began in 1839 when Sir Richard Owen examined a mysterious fossilized bone that had been found by a Maori individual and brought to Europe. Owen's determination that the bone belonged to a giant previously unknown bird was initially met with ridicule, but over the years thousands of remains have been uncovered in various locations, and this Moa Claw remains unique in its preservation. The preservation of this Moa Claw has sparked ongoing conversations around de-extinction. The claw's intact tissue and genetic material have been extensively studied, and Japanese geneticist Anko Yasuyuki Shirota has also begun preliminary DNA extraction experiments. Shirota's goal is to incorporate Moa DNA into chicken embryos, theoretically allowing for the revival of a Moa-like trait. Supporters of this project point out that the Moa's primary habitat is still relatively undisturbed, and the plant species it relied upon for food are largely extant, making reintroduction more plausible. Moving on to number 7, the massive last meal. The discovery of a remarkable fossilized ichthyosaur in southwestern China has sent shockwaves through the paleontological community, forcing scientists to reassess their understanding of marine ecosystems during the Triassic period. This 15-foot-long marine predator, known scientifically as Ichthyosaurus, was found with the entire torso of another substantial creature, a 13-foot-long thalattosaur lodged in its gut. The implications of this find are immense, presenting a vivid snapshot of prehistoric predator-prey dynamics. Dating back approximately 240 million years, the fossil of the ichthyosaur encapsulates a moment that challenges previous assumptions about its feeding behavior. Paleontologists had long believed that ichthyosaurs primarily preyed on softer, more elusive marine creatures like cephalopods. The discovery of this remains suggests a far more aggressive dietary inclination, hinting at the ichthyosaur's capability to consume prey nearly its own size. The ichthyosaur's teeth, characterized as peg-like and blunt, had previously led researchers to categorize it as a predator that relied on soft-body prey. However, the evidence presented by this fossil challenges that narrative. This insight has the potential to redefine the dietary habits of other ichthyosaur species and marine reptiles with similar dental structures, suggesting that they too might have occupied the niche of mega-predators in their respective ecosystems. The fact that their stomach contained a large, intact section of the thalattosaur's torso suggested that the former might be true. If another predator had killed the thalattosaur, it seems unlikely that the ichthyosaur would have left more nutritious parts of its prey uneaten. Number 6. The Ltoe Footprints. The discovery of the Ltoe Footprints in Tanzania has fundamentally changed our understanding of early human ancestors and their behavior. Dating back approximately 3.6 million years, these footprints are not merely remnants of a bygone era, they represent a significant chapter of human evolution, revealing insights into the lives of our early predecessors. The footprints attributed to the species Australopithecus afarensis provide compelling evidence of bipedalism long before the evolution of larger brain sizes. The Ltoe footprints were first uncovered in the 1970s, led by renowned paleontologist Mary Leakey and her team, while exploring volcanic ash deposits in 1976. They initially identified animal tracks, but it wasn't until 1978 that Paul Abel discovered the remarkable trail of hominid footprints stretching nearly 88 feet long, comprising around 70 individual impressions. This site, situated about 20 kilometers from a now inactive volcano, showcases how nature can preserve fleeting moments in time. The footprints were formed when early humans traveled over wet volcanic ash, which subsequently solidified and fossilized, creating an invaluable record of their existence. Analysis of these footprints have revealed that the individuals who left them were bipedal, characterized by foot structures more similar to modern human than to apes. Their feet featured big toes aligned with the rest of their foot, unlike the divergent toes of apes, which assist in climbing. The evidence suggests that these early humans employed a heel-strike gait, mirroring the walking pattern of modern humans. These footprints also indicate that the early humans had relatively short legs, as evidenced by the close spacing between impressions, suggesting a shorter gait. This adaptation would have been crucial for navigating the very terrain of their environment. The existence of Australopithecus afarensis fossils in the same sediment layer as the footprints provides additional confirmation that this species was indeed responsible for the trail. Number 5. Gigantopithecus. The Gigantopithecus is an extinct genus of ape that roamed parts of Asia during the early to middle Pleistocene, approximately 2 million to about 300,000 years ago. Known primarily from fossilized remains discovered in southern China, Gigantopithecus Black Eye, the only recognized species, has captivated both scientific and popular imaginations. This giant ape, standing nearly 10 feet tall and weighing between 440 and 660 pounds, was once believed to be a hominid, a member of the human lineage. However, current research places it closer to orangutans within the subfamily Ponginae. The discovery of the Gigantopithecus traces back to 1935, when anthropologist Ralph von Koenigswald identified 2 enormous third lower molar teeth sold in a Hong Kong drugstore, mislabeled as dragon bones used in traditional medicine. His observations of these teeth led him to propose the existence of this giant ape, subsequently naming it Gigantopithecus Black Eye in honor of Canadian paleoanthropologist David Black. The size of the teeth, measuring approximately 0.7 inches by 0.8 inches, was astonishing, prompting further investigation. In 1955, a Chinese paleontologist named Pei Wengzhong led an expedition to locate the original Gigantopithecus locally, uncovering 47 additional teeth among shipments of, quote, dragon bones. By 1963, the team had excavated more than 1,000 teeth and several mandibles from the area, revealing a wealth of information about this ancient species. Notably, the remains have since been found in 16 different sites across southern China, yet only teeth and 4 mandibles have been recovered, with other skeletal remains most likely lost to natural processes. The features of these fossils are striking. They possessed large, flat molars, thick dental enamel, and a robust jaw structure, indicating a diet primarily consisting of tough, fibrous plants. This dietary adaptation may explain the high incidence of cavities observed in the fossilized teeth, alongside pits that suggest malnutrition and food shortages. In popular culture, though, Gigantopithecus is often conflated with cryptids like Bigfoot, mainly due to its enormous size. This connection sparks a bit of mystery as people wonder whether ancient legends could hold some basis in the real world, but ultimately, Gigantopithecus serves as a window into the past, providing insights into the behaviors and habits of long-extinct megafauna, and underscoring the delicate balance between species survival and environmental change. Number 4. Spinosaurus. The Spinosaurus, scientifically designated as Spinosaurus aegypticus, stands out as one of the most intriguing dinosaurs in paleontological history. Initially discovered from fragmentary remains in the early 20th century, this dinosaur would go on to challenge long-standing beliefs about the dinosaur ecology and behavior. It's widely recognized as the first known swimming dinosaur, reshaping our understanding of how some dinosaurs may have thrived in aquatic habitats. Spinosaurus first captured the attention of scientists when it was described by German paleontologist Ernst Freyer-Stromer von Reichenbach in 1915. The initial fossils, unearthed in the Kemkem beds of Morocco in 1912, consisted of several vertebrae and a partial skull. However, the unique characteristics, such as a long, narrow snout filled with conical teeth, hinted at a diet that included fish. This revelation suggested that Spinosaurus might just not be a terrestrial predator like most of its dinosaur cousins, but rather an animal with a foot, or rather a fin, in the water. This combination of unusual morphology and inferred behavior ignited an ongoing debate. For many years, the dominant narrative in paleontology suggested that dinosaurs were strictly terrestrial creatures. Most marine creatures from the Mesozoic era were classified as marine reptiles, such as pliosaurs, ichthyosaurs, and mosasaurs, which were not considered dinosaurs. This prevailing view made the idea of a swimming dinosaur seem pretty far-fetched, and claims of an exception demanded extraordinary evidence. In recent years, groundbreaking discoveries have emerged that have reshaped the conversation surrounding Spinosaurus. The most compelling evidence came from that remarkable find in Morocco, a nearly 95-million-year-old tail exhibiting an unusual paddle-like shape. This 2-foot-long appendage is not just a curiosity. Researchers argue that it is unmistakably aquatic in design and likely served to propel the massive dinosaur through the depths of the rivers where it hunted for fish. The structure of the tail resembles that of modern crocodiles, suggesting that Spinosaurus was a highly adapted swimmer, capable of navigating its watery environment with deadly agility. Number 3. Sioux. Sioux, officially cataloged as FMNHPR 2081, is one of the most significant and well-preserved Tyrannosaurus rex specimens ever discovered. Unearthed in August 1990, this fossil has garnered acclaim not just for its size, but for the exceptional completeness of the remains, with over 90% of the skeleton recovered. This makes Sioux an invaluable source for paleontologists, allowing them to glean insights into the anatomy, behavior, and life history of one of the most iconic dinosaurs. The name Sioux honors Sue Hendrickson, the paleontologist and fossil collector who discovered the skeleton on a fateful day in the Badlands of South Dakota. The discovery of Sioux happened against the backdrop of ongoing debates about T-Rex and its place in the dinosaur lineage. While previous T-Rex finds were often missing significant portions of their bones, Sioux provided a nearly complete representation of this predator. Sioux was discovered during an expedition by the Black Hills Institute, a fossil research organization based in South Dakota. The group initially set out to collect fossils in the Cheyenne River Indian Reservation when a flat tire forced them to delay their departure. Taking advantage of their unexpected break, Sue Hendrickson decided to explore the cliffs nearby. Her decision to investigate led to the astonishing discovery of bone fragments embedded in the rock face. Upon closer inspection, the team led by Peter Larson quickly recognized the significance of the find. The visible bones, many of which were articulated, indicated that this specimen was remarkably preserved. Sioux was estimated to be about 90% complete by the bulk and 73% when accounted for individual skeletal remains. This means that approximately 250 of the known 360 bones were recovered, providing researchers with a wealth of material for study. And the condition of the bones was particularly surprising. Many bones were intact, and the skull measured an impressive 54.9 inches in length, with most of its teeth still present. Scientists theorized that Sue's preservation was due to rapid burial by water and mud shortly after her death. The unique context of the discovery, the mixing of different skeletal fragments due to the water rushing in, also provided a fascinating glimpse into the circumstances surrounding its death. Number 2. Archaeopteris. The Archaeopteris, derived from the ancient Greek words archaios, meaning ancient, and pteryx, meaning feather or wing, represents a remarkable genus of bird dinosaur that lived approximately 150 million years ago during the late Jurassic. Often dubbed the original bird or the first bird, this transitional fossil provides crucial insights into the evolutionary connection between dinosaurs and modern birds. Measuring roughly the size of a Eurasian magpie, the Archaeopteris reached about 1.5 feet in length. Its broad wings and long tail suggest that it possessed some capability for flight or gliding. The skeletal structure reveals a blend of characteristics shared with both modern birds and small Mesozoic dinosaurs, particularly the dromaeosaurids and troodontids. Key features of the Archaeopteris includes jaws with sharp teeth, 3 fingers equipped with claws, a long bony tail, and feathers. Unlike modern birds which possess beaks, the Archaeopteris retained teeth, a characteristic indicative of its dinosaur ancestry. The remarkable preservation of the Archaeopteris fossils, particularly the feathers, has challenged notions about the evolution of flight. Most specimens display impressions of advanced flight feathers, indicative of aerodynamic capability that support the idea that it may have been able to engage in primitive flight. Recent studies suggest that it possessed some aerodynamic abilities, likely allowing it to perform short active flights, potentially for hunting or evading predators. Its primitive shoulder girdle may have limits in flapping abilities, and the lack of feathering on its upper neck and head may be attributed to the preservation process. Over the years, a total of 12 specimens have been unearthed, all linked to the same species, though some debate remains about their classification. Archaeopteris is celebrated for its role as a transitional fossil. It bridges the gap between non-avian dinosaurs and the birds we know today. Number 1. Lucy. It had to be Lucy, right? So the discovery of Lucy in 1974 marked a groundbreaking moment in the study of human evolution, challenging beliefs that redefined our understanding of the lineage that led to modern humans. Unearthed by U.S. paleoanthropologist Donald Johanson and graduate student Tom Gray during a survey in the remote Badlands of Hadar, Ethiopia, Lucy was an early human ancestor whose fossilized remains would become a cornerstone in paleoanthropology. The initial find, a piece of elbow joint protruding from the earth, soon revealed a treasure trove of 47 bones from a single individual. This remarkable specimen would later be classified as belonging to the species Australopithecus afarensis, dating back approximately 3.2 million years. Lucy's significance lies not only in her age and completeness, but also in the role in reshaping our understanding of the evolutionary timeline. Prior to her discovery, the prevailing notion among scientists was that the development of large brains was a precursor to bipedalism, the ability to walk upright on two legs. At the time, all known human fossils displayed relatively large cranial capacities, leading researchers to assume that brain size must have evolved before the physical adaptations necessary for upright locomotion. However, Lucy's remains reveal a different narrative. Standing about 3.5 feet tall, Lucy had a brain size comparable to that of a chimpanzee. Yet her skeletal structure was adapted for bipedalism. This juxtaposition of her small brain and upright posture was a crucial revelation, illustrating that the capacity for bipedal locomotion emerged long before significant brain enlargement occurred. Lucy's skeletal adaptations for bipedalism are notably reflected in her femur, which is angled to allow for an efficient gait, and her S-curved spine, which supports an upright posture. Additionally, her short, bowl-shaped pelvis enables balance and stability while walking. These physical traits are akin to those observed in modern humans, illustrating the evolutionary lineage that connects us to our distant ancestors. The impact of Lucy's discovery extends far beyond her physical remains. In the 5 decades since her unearthing, Lucy has profoundly influenced the field of paleoanthropology, inspiring researchers to explore uncharted territories and formulate new hypotheses regarding human evolution. Moreover, Lucy's discovery has led to advancements in dating techniques and analytical methods, allowing for more accurate reconstructions of ancient environments and better contextualization of fossil finds. Thanks for watching, everybody. I'll see you next time. Thank you to our channel members.